Everyone, welcome to Bud Bashers. Today we're talking about Stella Blade, and to no one's surprise, it's sold well. Um, and we're going to be talking about that and how the journals are just reading, and they're going to be a re-NATO. Anyways, so as you know, Stella Blade PC demo released. And I'll be honest, I tried it. It was a good game. Like, it's really solid. It's like my first Soul-like, so I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but it reminds me of one of those games where you gotta be really patient with. And you gotta really, like, learn what the monsters do, because each one has its own abilities. Like, one can poison the field around you, one little crab bitch has a shield, and then some of them are just easy, but if you get a whole big group of them, it could be hard. And then one of them has like a pointy mace, the pointy ball mace for a hand, and like a sword for a hand, and you gotta figure out which one to dodge and stuff. But it's really good, and I enjoyed it, even though it took me a bit to get to the boss, or at least a bit to beat the boss, because I'm not used to those games, and I'll be honest, the boss was fun. I felt it was good. It's just a little hard, but I had fun because I'll be honest, I felt satisfied when I defeated it. It was like, ah, got this bitch. Anyways, because the boss, like the first phase of the boss is pretty easy, but the second phase is where shit hits the fan. And I really love how the game forces you to diversify sort of your strategy, because you can't just use one sort of way to win a fight. What I mean is, like, you can't just block, you gotta dodge roll and stuff. And especially if you're used to playing like other action RPGs like Kingdom Hearts, where you can just dodge roll your ways through the fights, especially on the easier levels. It's something that I like about this, where, they sort of force you to, change it up and change up your strategy. And then I also like that they let you try out sort of the new moves in the training mode that you learn, which I can think is awesome for a game like this. Because once you get the hang of it, then you can be like, oh yeah, I'll go to the boss and fight the boss, and all that. And plus, the yellow paint was there, but wasn't as intrusive as most games. And plus, it doesn't, it doesn't show you every secret. Like, it allows you to explore yourself. And if you're someone that wants in, it'll give you a hint. It's not every second where it's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Maybe something has to do with this. And it does, like, that does get so annoying after a while, where the character tells you what you're supposed to do when you're just trying to explore the area. That's one of my big gripe with Hogwarts Legacy is, something has to do something with this, or something with you. Okay, I get it. Just let me explore the area and figure it out myself first. And there's some secrets in the level, like Eve's sisters. I know there's probably a special name for like her robots and the robots androids in sort of the system in the game, that they have a special name, but I'm just going to call them Eve's sisters, or better yet, Eve's comrades. If you find the dead ones, they give you like 2 extra HP if you find them. And the game really doesn't, hold your hand where to find it. You just gotta look around and explore the level, which that I love. And that's sort of my experience with demo. And after I played, like, oh my god, this game's gonna be great. Anyways, and it was great. The numbers don't lie. This is according to Microsoft Bing, that Stella Blade, and this is on the PlayStation 5, has surpassed 3 million units. And this is from Forbes. This is just PS5 alone. We'll get into PC. It's it made a top sales chart in April. Clear that was of April 2024, last year, before they released it on PC. And now the PC is doing a lot better. It made over 1 million, it topped 1 million sales faster than its PS5 counterpart, which really shows how well the game is liked, and it's really being talked about in a positive light. And it's really seething the journals, which any game that makes the journals seethe, or quote-unquote video game journalists, because technically I'm a journalist too, but, the quote-unquote video game journalists that make them seethe, that's, usually sign if it's a good game, because many outlets gave Dragon Age Veilguard a 10 out of 10. It's like, okay, you do you. And the same with the Star Wars game. Outlaws, 10 out of 10. So it's like, yeah, any game that makes them rage and seethe may be sort of good. But I'll get into their reactions later on. But that's just and then the PC sales, it's hit over 1 million sales already. And like I said, it's faster than the PS4. And on Steam charts, it was 192K peak, and that's within the 3-day release window. And at one point, it was on a Steam #1 sales chart. So I think Stellblade is going to do. I already knew it was going to do well, but I thought it was going to really knock it out of the park. But I also think a lot has to do with Sony, what they done. And this is why I think next time in the future, I hope Shift Off just, unless they have a contract with Sony, they just drop them in the dust because they really don't need them. Great IP that I think was really hindered. Exclusion contract. I think it could have done more, in my opinion, if they released it both at once. Because then you got the hype already built up. I mean, and I think more people would have bought it. Because the problem with many of these exclusive games is the hype dies down, sort of ish. And once it becomes on PC, it's like, okay, I have other stuff to play, you know. Release out of the gate together, and I think Shift Up would have made a lot more money. Double with PC and Steam at the same time with the optimal, like, sort of marketing strategy and optimal hype. They would have done well, I'll be honest. A lot well. Very well. I mean, either way, it's regardless of Sony, it's still doing well. I just think Sony is really hindering a lot of these companies, or game companies, in my opinion, because of the exclusivity or time exclusivity agreement. And then to top it off, Sony might have their own standard for the game, where it might they want it to go through ethics department and all that. Just for what I don't know, but just to fit their sort of standard. Anyways, so yeah, I think Stellblade is a great game. But here's the thing: the journals are reeing and seething. Which one aren't they reeing and seething? But I think they're really losing their shit more is because Stella Blade is sort of that mirror that's being pointed up to them and saying, hey, reflect. Because your ideals aren't working. Because they like, oh yeah. And this doesn't say there's anything bad with diverse cast. But the problem is when they come off as cards for sort of the writer's ideology and politics, people don't want that. Plus, it's just very sort of shut the seals up moment and have him clapping to sort of minimal effort into making or turning a character something they're not. Like what I mean is turning Henry gay or turning the Witcher gay. It's sort of like, yeah, if someone wants that, there is art and fan art and all that stuff online, whether it be writing, pictures, that I have nothing against. The problem is I think it comes off as very, when you turn that character gay, it comes off as very, we're going to shut the seals up and have him clap for us sort of moment. And it's really just setting the bar really low for diverse characters, in my opinion. I don't know if this is maybe me, or I think diverse characters have been around a long time and been really a lot more well written than whatever's been put out now. But I think it also shows that, straight men, or mostly men who are more video gamers, play video games, want boobly ladies. Which, again, if you have videos sort of sexualizing muscly men, putting them in banana hammocks or whatever, you could put ladies in tight bras or bra and panties. Like that's the whole point of equality, in my opinion. Which I don't understand this faux outrage over it, and to prove my point, this is an article that was posted on PC Gamer, where essentially they were they said, this is by PC Gamer, every penis in Assassin's Creed Odyssey rated. So really, what's the problem here? I really want to know. Grown male characters could be treated in sort of objectifiable fashion, then so female characters too. Like I said, that's the whole point of equality. Anyways, I'm glad Stella Blade sold. So, what do you guys think? Are you gonna play Stella Blade? Because when I get the money, I'm gonna get my hands on it. It's super cool. Even though it's a Souls like, I'm like, I'm ready. Let's go. What do you guys think? Anyways, take care, stay healthy, stay hydrated, happy gaming. Bye bye. Thank you for listening.